Okay, so we just went over our bell work, and we are going to get started on today's lesson. Today we're going to be looking at ordering fractions, so you can see the title up at the top. Please put today's date in ordering fractions. And our objective for today, it says I can order fractions from least to greatest. So it's up here on this board as well as the marker board. While you're writing that down, remember that last week we ended with looking at comparing fractions. And we first started talking about what? What was the vocabulary word that we talked about? Yes, ma'am. It was similar to a multiple. Thea? Least common denominator. Good. All right. Which was very much like the least common multiple. It was just specifically talking about the fractions. We looked at a shortcut to compare them when we did the cross multiplication, right? And whichever product was bigger was the bigger fraction. So it was that shortcut. But remember I said we still need to know how to find the least common denominator and keep that terminology in the back of our head because it's going to help us with something. Today it's going to help us with something. All right? So we're going to be practicing ordering fractions from least to greatest using the least common denominator. Okay? So I'm going to list some fractions up here. And then we're going to talk about how we would go about putting them in order from least to greatest. Okay? So, and please write these down as I write them down. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so write down 4/5, 1/2, 9/10, and 3/4. Dylan?
Why did the other one have to do that?
It's just how I wrote it. It got squiggly in it. Okay, the first thing that we have to do when we are ordering fractions, now let me stop before I get any further. Some of these fractions you can look at them and be able to order them fairly easy without doing much. I'm aware of that. But some of them are going to you need to find the LCD, make equivalent fractions, and go from there, okay? One of the ways that you can do this, if you don't want to look at it written horizontally, you can write them vertically. So when we're looking to find the LCD of 4 different numbers, what are some ways that we could go about that? Think about when we would find the LCMs. Topanga. Okay, finding the least common denominator for all of them. How would you choose to do that?
What I did was that I found the old one was 4/5, 1/2, and 9/10, which all have 10 as a denominator, but I couldn't see that one too, so I made that look, but I noticed that it's over 40, so
you did 40, okay. So what she said was she noticed that 4/5, 1/2, and 9/10 could all go into 10. Because 5, 2, and 10 can go into 10, correct? But then that's not going to work for 4. 4 can't go into 10 evenly. And she chose to do 40. Would you agree that that's the least common denominator? Meanwhile, what do you think?
I have another cup, small cup.
No, we're talking about finding the LCD right now, okay? Kira?
20.
20. Okay? So if we look at, we know that 10, the only things that we can use are like 10, 20, 30, 40. 20 and 40 are the first two that 4 can go into, but 10 is the smallest. Or I'm sorry, 20 is the smallest. Okay? So then if we're going to be writing our new fractions, then we're going to go out to the side. I hope you're writing these down. and giving each one of these a new denominator of 20. Now, Topanga, you could use 40, and it would still work out for you, but if you were being asked to write it in simplest form, you would still have to go one step further and make those fractions smaller, okay? Now, this looks like our bell work, right? We've got to write equivalent fractions for all of these. What do we do to 5 to get to 20? So what is my numerator going to be here? 16, because 4 times 4 is 16. What do I do to 2 to get to 20? What's my numerator? How did I get from 10 to 20? Times 2, so my numerator is? 18, great.
15.
Oh, look at you jumping again. Okay.
16.
All right, now they all have the same denominator. When they have the same denominator, you put them in order from least to greatest of their numerators. Okay? So which one's smallest up here? 1/2. Right, 10 over 20 is the smallest, but we're going to write them as they were originally written in the book, okay? So we got 1/2 taken care of. Then what? 3/4. Good. Then 4/5. Leaving us with 9/10. Good work. Huh? I'm okay with that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Any questions about how we did this? Do you want?
I have a small cup.
Okay. Write it up here on the board. Show us how you did this.
You can not even do like this.
Okay.
You can know which is bigger and which is smaller.
Okay. Show me what you're doing.
You pick a moment.
Okay. Not everything.
So you calculate like the 1/2. Yeah. Oh.
Okay. You're counting by half. Okay.
And then which one is the smaller, but it's like this one is the biggest thing, and yeah.
Okay. So he's using landmark fractions like 1/4 and 1/2 and 3/4, or 1/3 and 2/3, and relating those fractions to those landmarks on a number line. Okay. Thank you.
And it's like and you can think like this. And 1/2, 2/2 1/2 equals 4/2. So here is
Sure.
yeah.
Sure. I understand what you're saying. Thank you. If that works for you, that's fine. Okay. I'm going to put another set of fractions up that I want you to try on your own. As soon as you get them written down, find the LCD and put them in order from least to greatest. Remember that if you need to, you can list them out. And if you need to write, for instance, if you can't see it right away, you can write out the 2, the 6, the 3, and the 5, like how we did when we first started talking about LCM. And you can skip count multiply these numbers? If you need to do something like that, you can. Okay, let's look at this one together. So when I was talking to some people, they had both sets written horizontally, and you kind of lose track of what you're doing. If you write them vertically, it can help you when you go to write your equivalent fractions. Okay? Blake, what did you use as your LCD? Okay. Who else got an LCD? What'd you find?
30.
30? Okay, would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you choose 2 to get to 30? Chase?
So 2 times 2 by 15 gives 30, you times 1 by 15.
Good. Okay, what about here, Kaylee? Because you multiplied by 5, good. Alright. Josh, what about down here? 2/3 is what? 20 multiplied by 10, good. And Aaron?
18.
Good, because 3 times 6 is 18. Okay, now you're looking at these. Which one's the smallest?
1/2.
1/2? Then what?
3/5. 2/3.
Good. Okay. Now, you will also, I'm going to show you one more style. We're going to talk about it, and then I'm going to give you your assignment. You will also see problems with whole numbers.
You want to start with that?
Please. From what I saw when I was looking at your assignment, all of the whole numbers are the same. Okay? So if you have a problem that has whole numbers in it, it's all the same whole number. Do you have to worry about the whole number to start off with?
No.
No, you almost kind of ignore that whole number is there and just look at 3/8, 1/4, 5/6, and 2/3. Okay?
How will you write it down?
You could, if you wanted to ignore the whole numbers, you could still come over here and just put 3/8
And then
equals something. Yeah. Nick,
when are you supposed to do this?
we're just talking about it. Okay. Any questions? Blake, what is it? What did you put first?
1/4.
Okay.
3/8.
Okay.
2/3. And then 5/6.
Okay. Now talk to me. How did you? What were you thinking in your head?
Well, I thought I just would do the change. Well, I just did the change.
So you are thinking about fractions and fractional parts and shading, and you're seeing that in your head. Okay, Nick?
1/4 is 2/8. that's smaller than
Okay, hold on, I'm gonna say what you're saying. So, Nick is looking at how 1/4 is equal to 2/8, which makes it smaller than 3/8. Okay, keep talking.
2/3. Continue doing it.
Mhm.
And that's why that's 1/4. It's smaller because,
Okay. So what did you look at when you looked at 2/3?
it's 4/6, and so that's bigger than 3/8.
Okay.
And so that is actually bigger than 3/8.
So notice how what Nick was, what he was doing was he made this fraction compared to this fraction comparing it to that. Okay? You could do that. You know how we talked about comparing fractions? If you looked at, well, 3/8 and 1/4, and you did this quick compare, well, you know that 3/8 is bigger than 1/4. Please wait, anyone, please wait. Thank you, have a seat. So you could use, if finding the equivalent fractions doesn't work out for you as well, you could go through and compare them the way that we did on Friday and use that method. Okay? Good, I like to hear how you guys are thinking and how you solve some of these problems.
LCM on that is 28.
28?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the LPs and one of the, and this one.
24.
Oh, I get those two.
That's okay. All right, we are going to be looking at page 223. Completing problems number 17 through 22. You will be turning this assignment in. If you do not finish, it's homework.